All right, everything's set up. Let me just finish with all the like refining everything. 1 second to get the camera. There we go. Lock my chair. Oh. Blah. Just need to open everything up. And then I need to adjust my camera. Then we'll be all ready. Just a little off balance trying to get everything to last minute. I was editing videos, so like everything's just I forgot how to explain it. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, I was editing videos, finishing up right at like 6:20, 6:25, still editing. Now I think everything is ready for me to export. The second that I'm done with it, it was the time lapse, the supercut. So that's very exciting. I'm very happy to get that out. We'll see when. I don't know when I would. I think maybe tomorrow I'll post the. Yeah, tomorrow I'll post the time lapse of 10:10, which was the last stream, and then maybe Friday, Saturday I'll post the supercut. Sorry, I just need to pull up the camera settings. That's not the one. Go away, go away. Camera properties. Configure video. There it is. All right, I'm gonna. Let's see. I think I turned down the exposure. Oh no, I turned it up. Too high, too high, too high. Okay, there we go. Need to adjust the brightness a little bit more refined. Boost the saturation so I don't look completely paper white. Fix the white balance so it's a little bit more orange. Too orange, way too orange. Let's see. Whoa, that's crazy. I have the screen's very white whenever I'm adjusting the camera. There we go, that's way better. So I have to make sure that I take down the menu just to see what it looks like without the blinding white light. I guess we can boost contrast a little bit. And we can do a zoom. I'm trying to get like a in between the most zoom. There we go, there we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then just move the camera here. Then move the light a little bit so it's not glaring on the camera lens. There we go. Okay, all that's set up. All right, so we made another little adjustment to the audio this time around. My microphone should be a little quieter and my music should be a little louder. I checked the last stream. Last stream we changed the settings before that, and then just to feel how it went. The music was now barely audible in the recordings, and then I was still a little bit like, you know, screaming into the microphone. I mean, it's just really far away, but sometimes I put it right next to my mouth, and then with the gain on top of that, it makes it a little too crazy. So, trying to find a good balance. It used to be way too quiet. Now it's a little bit too loud. It's specifically like that distortion that you get whenever you're like just screaming into a mic, wherever like it just starts to blur out because there is a noise gate. So eventually, if everything just becomes screaming, it all just starts to blur together. The noise gate just prevents it from getting too loud. 1 second. That's it. That's finished. Okay. I forgot to even pull up my little piece of art. We could have just been looking at art the entire time. But yeah, I finished the supercut. That will be, I'm gonna have to export that as soon as I'm done. Then I have to edit 2 more videos. Then I'm done and I'm caught up. This week has been a mess. I haven't touched Warhammer Dark Tide all week, and I'm like scratching my neck. I'm not healthy. I'm not good, bro. I'm not good. Okay, so yeah, here's where we were last time. Just throwing these together, trying to get like a good feel of how I want the picture to be laid out, and I think we're at a really good spot. I like the colors. I like the structure. That's pretty close to what I originally visioned. In fact, I think it's better because I didn't have the unique setting of just like this random parking lot. Before it was just an alleyway, and I felt like that was too what's the word? Too nondescript, too simple. And I charged all my stuff before I started the stream today, so everything should be at full battery. So full battery, full power. I am very sleepy. I was editing maybe a little bit too long, so maybe we're just gonna do a quick stream tonight. I think the eyes rolled to the back of my head when I said that. I was like, oh my god, a short stream? I haven't done that in years. Alright. Enough of that. So we're gonna... I think what we're gonna do is just gonna start with... Yeah, let's soften him up. Let's actually structure him out. Do like the fine details. But that's gonna take a little while of turning off all the colored layers. Where's he? There he is. And here. Then here. Nope, that's not it. We could probably keep the eyes, but it's gonna be distracting because we need to work that out too. Alright, yeah, and then here's are his various forms. So, just a recap. We're gonna be working on the next vampire. This is gonna be the Tzimisce. So, which explains why he looks so gnarly here. Like I said, Tzimisce, they get really, really crazy. They like to... They're like flesh warpers, bone warpers. And they like to just transform into really nasty, gnarly things. It gets a little BDSM. It gets a little H.R. Geiger with their alien designs. Or with their flesh warping. Where you'll have like creatures that are weirdly phallic, but also clearly alien and biomechanical. And just like all this nastiness. I like, at least for this character, to have more of a tame version of that. I think, you know, if I made like, I don't know, 5 Tzimisce characters, more of them would be the 4 out of those would be like the flesh warpers, the, you know, the weirdly BDSM types. And then, but this character that I wanted to make was kind of going against the grain, you know, like I wanted this one to be a more distinct, slice of the Tzimisce culture, which is more of the old world, old money type of the Tzimisce. But anyways, so yeah, we're gonna tone this down. We can keep the background up. Do I have the background like lines, or is it all just? Yeah, I think it's all just painted on. We can maybe just fade it out. Maybe like right here. Yeah, that way we kind of keep in mind where we're gonna go with this. So the background's faded, the character's faded. We can start doing the more serious line work. We might do one more pass if we have to like structure everything out, but this is gonna be like the refined anatomy section. His head looks maybe a little big, so we're gonna keep an eye on that. Okay, good. Oh, never mind. I was about to say good start. It didn't draw anything. Wow. Yeah, definitely gonna have to be a quick stream because I can barely string my words together, and I can't focus on my lines very well. But yeah, let's just go ahead and quickly like block things out. At least try to get some good stuff done today. Squeeze whatever I can out of today. How's his head position? His head is a little high, so hold on, let me... I'm kind of trying to tilt his head in 3D space so it's facing the camera a little bit more, basically. Because we're basically the POV of the person that meets him in the alley. So I'm trying to make it a little bit more like, you know, he's staring directly into our eyes and we don't really like what we see. I had a really tough time trying to figure out a name for this piece too. I try to make like every piece have like a name that kind of like represents like a general vibe for the character in very few words. Or very, yeah, like almost like a little summary of the character. Sometimes it's really nice, sometimes it's really easy. Like, the first one was Connor, and because he's a toreador, that's all about the spoken word poems, I have his as finding the right words, which is like kind of his goal. He's trying to find like the perfect poem that would like catch the attention of his sire. So, you know, like all of his characters can be summed up into finding the right words. You know, it's what made him special, it's his special talent, and it's also like his goal. It all summarizes nice. For Talib, which is the ministry character, the Church of Set character that I have, he is inviting chaos, which is he invites chaos as like a more anarch-aligned character, and then he is an inviting version of chaos because he being like representative of chaos, and the ministry being like a very charming and seductive branch of chaotic anarchism. Oh my goodness. One second. I just ate, so I feel like my lips are like salivating. He is literally an inviting chaos. He is an inviting form of chaos. Like you are invited to his what is the word? His demeanor is inviting, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know why I'm struggling so much. I know why. I'm tired. That's why I have coffee. Let me make the brush way bigger. We're gonna go like 20. And something I forgot to do whenever I was first starting this piece was I try a technique of keeping things very big, like trying to think in big shapes, and then you focus on medium shapes and you go to small shapes. I kind of just skipped all that because I was just very abstract minded. Like I really just want to like slap on the idea and try to get as much work as I could done in a small amount of time that I forgot like the whole process. But you know, it happens. I think what happened was I was a little panicked because I realized that I only had like half an idea, which was like I knew what the character was going to be, what the pose was going to be, you know, like the dragon in the background, but I realized that the background wasn't really like doing it for me. And then I started like panicking because I was like, oh god, how am I going to figure out what I'm going to do? So once I had like the first version of the alleyway, I like started to like kind of have it in the back of my head what I wanted, and that's when the parking lot idea came to be. And that I'm much more excited to work out. And I remember during the last stream, one of the viewers told me to keep an eye on the anatomy. And I mean, one thing, he does have like a kind of wonky anatomy. He's a tall, lanky fellow. And then B, I have studied anatomy. I know a lot about how to draw a character's anatomy. It's more just proportions that I have an issue with, where it's not that I don't know how to keep good proportions. It's just that I get very lost and very what's the word, tunnel visioned about it, where I don't really notice it until someone points it out. Which, you know, That's fair. Fine to do. Fair to do. If any of you guys are watching and you're like, hey, his head is kind of big, you know, if you're nice about it, just let me know. I promise I won't cry on camera. But no, that's part of the reason why I always like ask my friends in the Discord just like what they think, because like I want them to help me out and point out like, hey, why does your character look like he's 5 feet tall? It's like, well, I'm not good at proportions. The proportions got a little lost, and thankfully, since it's a digital medium, I can just like cut the head, shrink it down, and then he looks much more appropriately human sized. I mean, as a 5 foot tall person, 5 feet tall people look normal too. People. Five 3, not 5 feet, but I also have no idea because I don't measure myself. Because I don't want to be sad. I'm good. I know I'm short. Let's not try to figure out exactly to what degree. Just accept that I'm short and move on. I'm granted, I don't really care that much because I've always been short since like literally elementary school. I was always like a short person. I think middle school was like the only time I had like any kind of growth spurt, and it was like 5-6 inches. It was not a very huge difference. I even had like a doctor check my thyroid because I was worried that there was something wrong with me. And then, but at the time I was like 14, so like I didn't know that it was just because my mom is 5 feet tall, like 4'11", and you know, my genetics just went that way. No, let me turn up the background a bit, just to make sure this is all making sense. Because right now I'm kind of tracing and then also trimming down his head a little bit to have it fit a little better. I think we could maybe twist his head a little bit more towards the camera. Because he's looking like away. Like if this is me looking dead center at the camera, then what he's doing is a little bit like this, a little bit off camera. Like I can still shift his eyes so they're staring at the camera. So it's not a huge deal, especially if you have a character with pupils. I usually don't. Oh, let me see. Does this character have pupils? I think this character has something special where he has like red eyes, and then like the center of his eyes are like even darker. So you can kind of tell like right here, there's like 2 different shades of red in that area. You can see it much better here. Like there's like 2 shades of red because they have red sclera and like a deeper blood red pupils. It's kind of like those characters that have like all black eyes. It's a similar thing. That's the idea. I like the more like artsy, stylistic eyes. I think I get it from like being a Batman fan and like growing up with like Spider-Man. All of those characters, they have like just white little blips for eyes, and you still get like a lot of personality out of those little blips. It's just fun. I think it's a little bit more centered. Let me see. This is just to feel it out. Yeah, that's good. I think it's still a little bit, but it's like I went like halfway in between, where it's not completely dead on to the camera, but it should still be dramatic. Hold on, I'm getting lost. I'm trying to get the head, trying to get the entire shape of the body and anatomy right. So let's see. Let's draw him as though he was muscular. He's not muscular, but we're gonna draw him as though he was, just to see if that helps settle anything about the anatomy. if he was shirtless, and he typically is not shirtless because it's a meaty. He's a pampered, old country, old money kind of person. He's closer to like the generations that didn't take baths than someone who does. That arm is kind of crazy long. Oh goodness. Chest muscles are kind of fun because they're kind of like this weird like twisting where the chest is this big like round part of the body, and then like as soon as it gets towards the armpit and shoulders, it just like flips around, and that's why you get like this crazy looking knot. So instead of just like connecting immediately into the shoulder, like just straight into it, it like twists around, so you get like almost like an X here. Kind of, you know, it's not like that dramatic where it's literally an X, but that's why you get like this fold here where, you know, like the skin or the muscles reach over into the chest muscles. So it's like clearly divided, but it's also, you know, got a pretty strong connection between the two. You move the chest, the shoulder has a reaction. You move the shoulder, the chest has a reaction. They're really well connected. I think that's about as long as I can make that shoulder muscle. I think what is that? The deltoid? I think that's a deltoid. I think the deltoids can be a little longer on real people, you know, not drawn people. But you know, like it's not super long. You get a longer bicep muscle and tricep muscles than you do deltoid. But even then, not that much longer. Like, I mean, I guess we can just look up an arm. I was about to say, I looked up 3D model male and it wasn't bringing up anything even close to what I need. Just get like really like simple. I like the last one that I have. Where'd it go? I'm gonna go with this one. This one I like. Where'd it go? Cool. It did not copy. Copy image. Paste. Give it a second. There it goes. All right. So what I'm talking about is here. So you can see the like Xing of the muscles. I'm gonna say it. See, you get kind of like a little cross section where it like flips over itself. Really neat part of the muscle. But anyways, then I'm talking right now. We're talking about the forearms or the shoulder and then the biceps. So definitely biceps are longer, but you do get like a pretty pronounced chunk. It's almost half, but not quite. And then you can see that it also extends a little bit lower on the backside, a little bit closer. I think this is the anterior. I don't know muscles that well, so anybody who wants to correct me, that's fine. But yeah, it does get a little bit closer to like half towards the back half of the shoulders, because the shoulders really extend much farther down here towards the back. But towards the front, it's more of like a little under half of the arm. I think this is pretty accurate. Hold on. So you can tell like they're similarly sized, but not quite half. Like this one's clearly a little bit longer. Then the forearms are supposed to be like both of those. So this one actually is like straight up half. Where like if you copied and pasted this here over here, you can actually get like pretty much like directly in the middle. So let's see. I guess I kind of remind myself. Then it also is going to be a little bit harder because we're foreshortening, so that means that the closer it gets to the camera, the bigger it's going to be. So the forearm, this part, is going to be a lot bigger than the rest of the arm. Or at least noticeably bigger. It doesn't have to be like a huge like difference. Where's my eraser? There it goes. So, you know, like we got a pretty decently sized shoulder. We can maybe trim it down here, so it's like just like that. So solid size, not too insanely huge. In the forearm, we can maybe go like right here, maybe a little bit longer. And then the forearm can be much huger. I kind of want to see if I can get it a little bit more lax in the arm where it's like pointing down and then it comes up at the end. You know, like a casual arm. You don't like stick it straight out stiffly. Sorry, 1 second. I had an itch on my foot. Something that also helps me kind of like figure out what like the shape is going to be whenever I'm foreshortening like this is I try to think of like the arm in sections. So here's it from the side. It's kind of like a rough arm, hand over here. Is that whenever I'm trying to think of what it looks like from the front. So you got the hand here. The forearm is going to look like this. It's kind of going to look like a circle. Maybe, you know, like a little bit stronger on one side because, you know, like there's going to be muscle here, bone right in the center. So the muscle is going to change the shape of the arm a little bit. But overall, it's still like a roundish shape. And that kind of helps you. So like whenever I'm doing it from like a 3/4 angle, it's going to look a little bit more like that. So that kind of helps me figure out like exactly what I'm going for. You can kind of see the shape that I did here, where like I'm thinking of it in little chunks. And that really helps me figure out like where I'm gonna go with the foreshortening. I think it needs to be maybe a little bigger on the wrist, but we'll see. This helps with the like hunched look. You pull up like the trapezius muscle a lot. Not too much because I don't want him to look like a bodybuilder, so we might have to dial this a little in. So maybe more like sorry, I'm trying to think of like hunched shoulders. He kind of it pushes up, down, and then back out. So up, down, back out. Oh, hold on. Trying to see if I can look up like a model for it. That might help me out. I try to do everything just in my head, and sometimes you really do just need a photo reference for that. Sorry, I'm just looking up shoulders real quick. I don't know. Hold on. This is kind of helping. Okay, here, hold on, something like this. I'm gonna take a clipping of it because there's some man meat, and I'm not trying to get that in the photo frame, so I'm gonna take this. There's some extra bits on the bottom that I don't need. So here we go. We got this is a little bit more like his fitness. It just helps to like draw out the muscle and then like drape skin over it. Then you can add the fat and you know how loose you want the skin to be and that kind of stuff. But generally, it's kind of like when you're drawing hair, you usually still draw them bald first and then you add the hair. At least that's the way I do it. So let me also like flip this image, layer, transform, mirror horizontally. There we go. That way he's like kind of like pointing a little bit more towards the direction of the character. Sorry, the app is being really slow. I'm not sure if it's the video editor that I use, but it really just does something about it just does not work very well with my computer. Maybe it's something that I'm doing and I don't understand. So something kind of like here. You know, like this you can see like how his shoulders lift a little higher. A little bit like here too. And he doesn't have like huge trapezius muscles, so that's what I need to focus on. I do have a bad habit of giving everybody like insane trapezius muscles, even on characters that aren't supposed to be like super buff or anything. So that's what I'm trying to fix right now. So we have the neck. This is a fun muscle too. The neck muscles, it starts like all the way in the back of the head, and they like just go right towards the collarbone. So they're real fun to draw out because they can kind of like help you figure out like the 3D shape of the neck. Lots of little tools. Now I'm trying to get this right. Because one shoulder is lifted, the other one's kind of straight. But I also don't want like a trapezius to end up being huge because of it, so I'm trying to get that right balance. So let's get this a little bit more straight. Sorry, I'm getting real tired. Trying to like focus, but for some reason my brain is just not working with me. I think it's because I didn't get really too much done today. I think just staring at a computer screen is kind of like slowly putting me to sleep. But if I can just work out the anatomy, maybe even get the clothes done, I think then I'll be happy. Trying to get this like, you know, like this kind of like scooped belly look, because again he likes to like hunch like this shape, almost like a Dracula in a cartoon where they have like a really like big hunch. Trying to get that like in there too. Ooh. Ooh. That wasn't helpful. Hang on, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I gotta. I'm gonna try drawing like the building blocks of what's going on. So this one has a shoulder reaching higher, kind of like this. And then this one has more of a relaxed shoulder, which is just straight off. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out how he's positioning his hands on his chest. And also how to like depict that. Maybe something like that. You might just have to like shift the position of the hand too. Because I was thinking the arm is a little huge on that one side. I'm wondering if this might be just a step too far, a little bit too far. Back to here, see if we can finish. Okay, let me see if I can do one more step of like anatomy where I figure out like the muscles. So shoulder should be up here. I think that's pretty clear. A little bit of trapezius. Collarbone. Other trapezius. Neck. Chest should be about here. Chest is usually about like the size of the head. Roughly. Like you get a bit of the gap from the neck, and then the chest is like almost like the size of the entire head. At least just based off of memory. It's just like what I've seen off of other people, and kind of like trying to like take down their proportions in my head. So we go around the rib cage, scoop in, scoop back out. Around the rib cage, scoop in, scoop back out. Get like a nice little hunch. You can probably dig it out a little bit more too, like a little bit like that. You can also like draw in the rib cage just a little bit, keep that in there. You'd probably be able to see his rib cage whenever if he ever has his shirt off too. Maybe like a little bit of his ribs too. A little bit of the lines digging in. Because he's got a very like skinny body. You got the abs like tucking in too. And tucking back out. One, two, three, four. There's the hand. Oh. So this is like a part 1 where you get to see like this is almost like a flat angle where he's far enough away that it's not like zoomed in at all. I'm just gonna leave this like blank. Maybe just like a little bit here. Maybe lift it up a little bit. The other thing, did he show the shoulder blades? Not too much. Yeah, that was lifting his arms. So his shoulder blades will only be like a little pronounced like here. Then we have the head. Then what I'm also going to do is just one step back again. I'm going to put this even lower. Almost not even there. And then this one's going to be like the foreground where it's like reaching into the face of the POV. Let's see. Okay, now I'm going to try to draw out the muscles bit. I'm going to hook it around back in a little bit more. Because I want this to be more of like the side of the forearm, not the like, you know, outside where you get to see both the bicep and the tricep in the back. Like if you see any tricep from this angle, it's got to be like really like slim. Is what I'm trying to go for. Like this. back and my neck. Ooh. This is gonna be like the elbow, like gap, like the little divot in between the forearm and the bicep. And this is gonna be the one of the muscles of the forearm just wrapping around, as the back of his hand is gonna be visible to the camera. Which, I mean, none of this is going to be seen anyways. He's got very big sleeves, big boxy sleeves that'll hide pretty much everything. His body is hidden from the world. There you go. I think we got a nice little mix of anatomy. I think this is right. I think maybe the only thing is I'm not sure about how like deep the like little hunches on the belly. Let me see. Let me lift that back up a bit. Oh, shoot. Oh, no. My dog just walked in. 1 second. Hold on. Can you see him on the camera? You can kind of see him. Never mind. There he goes. He's camera shy. And he also doesn't know how to close the door. I love that dog bit. He has a really annoying habit of just walking in, walking right back out, leaving the door wide open. Because I don't have like a clamp. Clamp. What is the little thing? Like a latch? Whatever, like actually shuts the door and keeps it shut. It's just swings open, swings closed. It doesn't stay closed or stay open. Let me look at my drawings real quick. I think my original one had like a good image of him like hunching over. So yeah, you can kind of see like the angle that he likes, like he leans into his handshakes. I'm wondering if I got that good. One second. Oh, big stretch. Let's see if that helped me wake up at all. Nope, my eyelids still feel really heavy. I think that might have pumped me a little bit of energy. We'll see. So I'm gonna hate myself for this, but I might just do one more version of this pose because it looks a little funky. Looks a little bit like he's leaning in like this instead of doing what I want him to. which is supposed to be just a hunch. He's just supposed to be a hunch, and the angle's a little off. And I think that's what is throwing me off. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go one more time, but we're gonna go at an angle where this is now straight, or maybe a little bit more. That's too high. Is a little too low. If this is probably like 17 degrees, but I don't feel like getting into the super like detailed parts of it. Okay, one last time. You're gonna keep this on, but I'm gonna keep it very soft. There you go. This is the last version, just to see if I can fix it. So I'm kind of gonna try to focus on what I want the pose to be, rather than what it is right now. Because I think what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to justify what I have on the screen instead of actually trying to just make what I need it to be. So I think maybe this camera angle will really help. What the heck did I just do with this chin? I was trying to slim things down. I'm gonna put in the little red eyes, just to. I'm doing the same thing I talked about earlier, where like whenever I'm trying to think of things in 3D space, I'm thinking of like basically cylinders. So right now I'm thinking of his hips like right here. I'm thinking of the legs like right here. Again, cylinders again. That really helps me whenever I'm trying to figure out how it's like supposed to wrap around the camera, or not wrap around the camera, how it's supposed to wrap around the form. And when we're looking at it straight on, it's almost like a square. When we're looking at it from below, we get a little bit more like roundness to the shape. Because, you know, like the hips aren't just like this block, this square. It's a round shape. Everything about human beings is round. We simplify it to squares and shapes, but it gets a little bit harder whenever we're in 3D space. 3D space is just what I refer to like, in my head, I have like a model that I'm just like playing around with, and I'm just like throwing it at angles and trying to imagine what it looks like at different angles. Kind of like the magic web poser, if I've ever shown you what that is. I've shown you poses that I've done from it, but where you get to like pose a 3D model. I'm basically like trying to think of shapes in that like little area where you're like twisting it around and trying to manipulate it. That's basically what's going on in my head. Which I mean you have to do in order if you're trying to like build things without any reference. If you're not like a super reference heavy artist. Nothing wrong with being a super reference heavy artist. I just don't like to do it personally because something about it gets very like printery to me, too computery to me, where it's like I feel like I'm just putting what I see on paper. And I mean that's not what it is. Like it's very creative. Like you're still like a very creative artist and can use references to improve it much more than you can just like freehanding it all on your own. But like I'm just saying what it feels like in my head. It's not accurate that the way I feel, but it is how I feel. Okay. I'm gonna turn this lower. There you go. I think this is almost there. I think I just want his shoulders just a tiny bit more hunched, and I think the way to do that is by maybe pulling the head down. I think that's what I've been trying to avoid, but I feel like that's the best way to get the like head like lowered position. You know, like this is the main part of the Dracula look, like almost like the Bernie Sanders. His head is more towards his chest. It's a weird aspect to it, but that's how you get like that old, you know, hunched, very meek look. Select, deselect. Then we're just gonna lower it. Not too much. Like this is how it feels like it looks like with Bernie Sanders, where it's like his head is like all the way down here, and his shoulders are so hunched. Hold on, wait a second. Can I? Dare I? One second. And Larry David as Bernie Sanders. That's funny. Wow, I'm really exaggerating with Bernie Sanders. I mean, he does have like the hunched shoulder look, but it's nowhere near as much as I thought it would be. It's a little hard to tell because I think sometimes he like poses much more straight, and I think that's usually when they get the photos. Just a moment, just a moment. Right here, that's the one. I think what's happening here is he's like sitting in a chair. So his like arm. So this happens to me because I'm short. So like I'll put my arms on the armrest, and if it's like a bigger chair than what I'm comfortable with, it ends up like pushing my arms up, and that's what happens. So I just like kind of get settled here. Hold on, let me. Am I on camera? Let's see. Please. There we go. So if I'm like really into like a big chair, I'll just like hunch like this. And because I'm just like basically resting on my arms are like holding my body up. Oy. That's what's going on here. Bunny Sanders. So let me. I think it looks worse because the jacket also puffs up. So let me see if I can draw out like where his shoulders would actually be. So his neck is like right here. Let's see. Like this is his neck. And then his like back is like going over here. Like this is where his body is. See that like this makes it look a lot worse. And that's the same thing. That would be like the same texture of jacket my character would have. Maybe a little bit of a sunken chest where he's like kind of like cowering a little bit over it. Not cowering, but you know. I'm using that word to kind of like describe the movement. Not Bernie Sanders is a hero. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let's shut up. Let's see. Just give him like a huge, bulky, muscular bodybuilder. I'm getting distracted. Sorry. Yeah, kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm going for. So let's see. Where can I position the head be similar? So first, let's move him. Let's move you like right there. And then we can try to get the head in a similar position. So it looks like his ears start right below it. Right below his shoulders. So maybe like right here. This feels good actually. I think technically here is where his ears would start, but maybe like right there. This feels good. I'm gonna merge these two and then just, well, hold on. Before I merge them, let me clear the pathway. What? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Clear the path. Then we merge them. Grab the blue color. Okay. So let's see if we can. What? That's not an eraser. You want a little bit of a noticeable hump because it is going to be one arm like lifted noticeably up, so the shoulder would bulge a little if it's lifted up. So you see here, straight line, and then you move the shoulder up, you can feel like a little dent, so it like moves up a little. It's a little easier to see if I was like in a spandex suit or something, but that's kind of why superheroes all wear spandex suits, because it makes muscles easier to see. Which also saves time on how much you have to draw out like the clothes, but because if it's all just like skin suit, if it's all just a skin suit, you can emphasize the anatomy, and then you don't have to be too specific on how the clothes are, depending on what your art style is. You know, if you have like a hyper realistic style, then obviously you're gonna worry about it. Like Alex Ross has a very realistic style, so he has to kind of think about like how sometimes the clothes aren't gonna cling directly into his like into shoulders or armpit areas. So you can tell like it's a little bit more like almost like a curtain. These are like specific details that are super irrelevant to right now. I'm gonna also soften this bit. And this one can kind of sloop down a little bit more because it's going to be going like down low. So this one's going to be high up, and then the other one's going to be down low. So this shoulder is going to be lifted a little bit, and then this shoulder is just going to sloop right down. Round way more. About the same, because you know you're not getting such a dramatic difference that it looks like it's detached from his shoulder. But you're gonna have a noticeable change in the muscles and how the collarbone and everything is moving. Does the collarbone move? Yeah, it does. It kind of like pushes out a little bit. I think it does. There's probably like another thing going on that I might be feeling. Okay, go away, Bernie. You've done your part. Now please have like somebody that follows after you, because I think you are getting too old. We need a Bernie too, a Bernie Jr. But no politics, no politics. Let me eat some cranberries. Okay. And yeah, here. Okay, so how does this compare? Let's turn up the background, see how that looks. So the character, I'm gonna make it a divide for now. And then the one that we just did. Yeah, let's also flatten the camera, or level the camera. Okay, so yeah, this is better. The only issue is I just need to increase the size, which is fine. I expect that. I'm gonna put all this in group. What are you? Oh, that's the arm that has to go in the group too. Then we just have to adjust the size. Nothing too crazy. Do I still have that rule of thirds? Let's see if we can get him to fit in there. I think, hold on. Oh, no, never mind. I thought the issue was that I try to make him fit here, where his head is hitting this little intersection of the rule of thirds over here. And that's why he was like so like tilted off to the side. Because I was trying to get him to fit into like all the intersections, essentially. Which is unnecessary, I will say at least. More cranberries. I don't know if anybody has beef against cranberries, but they're pretty good. I'm not gonna act like I can eat like a million of them or anything, but they're pretty solid. I think maybe just a little smaller. No, hold on, actually, let me untilt them. Just a little smaller. Is that good? I can't tell if it changed. Yeah, it should be good. A little smaller than that. Did it get bigger? What is happening? It's so hard to tell because I'm trying to be subtle with it, but like the computer has to like catch up to what I'm doing. I feel like it hasn't changed at all, and it's getting upsetting. Think we're almost there. Think this might be it. Where's the dragon? I think that's good. Maybe just one more little touch. Maybe just like that. I think that might be the one. Then we're gonna have to do just one last little pass to add some clothes on him. So we're gonna go above that, pop, and let's do this in like, I don't know, green. Nice little green. So I'm gonna pull up the reference real quick, make sure I know exactly what his clothes are. I know he has a jacket, I know he has a scarf. These were the background references. Here he is. So yeah, okay, so suit with a sweater vest in between, and then the jacket, and then the scarf. Okay. All should be easy. So let's get the big jacket first, kind of get the shape and silhouette of that first. I'm gonna say it like ends like right about towards the bottom of the camera. Right towards the bottom of the canvas. I think that the cranberries helped actually quite a bit. Gave me just a little bit of energy. I'm gonna try to slim down the body a bit because I just remembered that I didn't tone down the muscle at all. I'm gonna make it a multiply. Maybe that'll make it easier to see over everything. Nope, that was a terrible idea. Maybe oh wait, what am I doing? Just lower everything else. There we go. Okay. Not going to see much of the collar because it's going to be kind of hidden underneath his head. With his hunt position, you wouldn't really see too much of his neck because it'd be sticking towards you. You might see like a little bit of the neck. He definitely has a neck. Let's see. Is his jacket open or are they both closed? Uh-oh. My recording stopped. 1 second. How long was the first video? Got streams. Properties. It says it was an hour and 10 minutes. Where I started at 6:40-ish. Or 6:50-ish. Oh no, my dog has an ice cream. Never mind, he's ashamed. Which he should be. He's a little monster. He's my little gordito. Mi gordito chuchito perrito. Perrito. Okay. Camera's there. Nothing changed. We're all good. Back to work. Sorry. The dog is a very good distraction. Let's see. Yeah, all this is closed, right? Yeah. So the jacket just closes a little bit before after the sweater. So the second part, I'm gonna put the jacket like maybe like I'm gonna say like just above like the belly button, just there. The blazer, I guess you could call it. Then the sweater vest can play pretty close to the chest. Or pretty close to the collar, so you basically just get like a little peek of the tie, and that's all you get. And the tie just starts like right here. There we go. How can you feel threatened to buy a guy in a sweater vest? I might pull the jacket up a little higher. Instead of being like towards the abdomen, it's a little bit towards like the bottom of the chest. So maybe like 2 buttons instead of just the 1. That feels a little better. Then we also have the scarf. Wait, does he have like any lapels, any big? Yeah, he does actually. Ooh, zoomed into his eye. The mic is boosted, so I think you guys could still hear me from back there, I bet. Okay, so gonna just like that. Yeah, okay. Then the piece de la resistance, the scarf. Very heavy winter gear. Does it go under the lapel? Yes, it does. Pretty sure the lapels is what it's called, the collar. Oh, let me check that actually. Yeah. These are more blazers. Do they have like coat? Yeah, there you go. They're not as pronounced as I'm drawing it. I might have to tone it down just a smidge. Like the most like diabolical that I could see is like one like this. Where like the bottom half is like way bigger than the other one, and there's not like a huge pronounced gap between the two, or a like really pronounced fold. Oh no, I might have found something. This is a little bit more dramatic. So you get the one big one that kind of like falls down, and then you get this big collar. But it still plays a little bit closer towards the chest. So let's see. Let's see if I can get this to feel a little bit more realistic. Yeah, I forgot what it looks like. So we're gonna make a little bit of a last minute edit to the jacket to make it a little bit more like something you would actually see in real life. Little trench coat. Or little coat. I want to say even trench coat. Something like that. And then bring this a lot closer. There we go. There we go. That feels much better. Then we just need the scarf. So that would be like right, just wrapping right around. How far down does that go? Just a little bit before the end of the cut. So we can say like right here. Does it have like little stringy ends? Yeah, it does. Just like that. And the other side. So it's gonna like bunch up in the shoulder a little bit because it's like pushing into it. Then fan out again too. Hmm. Just a test, 1 second. Okay. One second, let me try one more thing. Just to see how it all looks in the end. Let's see. Put these both at 100. Where's this one even? Oh, it's at erase for some reason. Normal. So let's see. I'm gonna duplicate them both. Duplicate. Duplicate. Then we're gonna merge them. Put them on top. Pop. Okay, so now we have like a copy of both combined. And I'm just gonna erase all the parts that aren't covered by clothes. There we go. Okay. So let's see. There. Okay, hold on. I'm noticing some small things. It should be a little bit more towards this way. Oh, I see. There's another one. This I drew the shoulder as separate, but the shoulder should actually be wrapping around, so this should be a more of a round shape. And then we can maybe even like draw like a little line like that, so you can tell like there's gonna be like a little bit of room between this where the body goes and then like the jacket goes over it. It's a little bit like that. Then the scarf can still wrap around it. Okay. Then also want to change the way this looks a little just down here. Forgot I finished my coffee. Let's see. Any other things I'm missing? Then how does this compare to the original? I think I need to fix the hair, but that can come later. I think maybe I can roll the shoulder. Roll the shoulder a little bit more forward. So let's see if I can do that. This is a little off look, but I think that it'll look a little more coherent. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pick up the background a bit. Oops. Come on. I'm gonna put another layer, make this a pass through, and just pop. Oh, I'm on an eraser. Whoops, 1 second. There we go. Now it's a little bit closer to the palette. I'm also gonna bip. Put this underneath everything so we can kind of see it stand out a little. That's not the color. There we go. Then I think again with the when we get everything in as far as like the correct lighting for the character, and then like the glowing eyes, which I'm gonna try to do right now. Just like that. Once all that gets in, I think we're gonna get a lot better, or things are gonna start looking a lot more cohesive. But I think this works out, like the pose, the character, and then the clothes as well. And it feels a little bit more specific, more directed. Because I mean, like I said, I like the one before this. But hold on, new layer from visible. Then we're gonna turn that off, turn that off, turn that off. I'm gonna turn back on the original. Let me get the eyes. Do I have the eyes? Where are the eyes? Not sure where the glowing eyes went. This is the one. Oh, these are the ones actually. There we go. So this is what it was when we started, and now we have one that feels a little bit more directed towards the camera. This actually makes me want to do one last little tweak. I don't know how much more I want to work. Oh my goodness. We're just gonna play around with it. We'll see. Hold on. Can I just actually hold on? Let's see if this works, or if I regret it forever. I'm gonna grab everything from here. This is gonna be super rough just to see how it looks. Okay. Let's see. Oop, 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 oop. Thank God it's empty. What is this? Take that away. Everything good on the Streamlabs end? Another recording error? What is going on? Sorry, I have no idea what's going on with the recording part of this, but this has happened before too. I don't know. But it does something funky with the camera. Or does something funky with the recording. Alright, so Control X, Control V. Then what if I just like make it bigger? Just his top half. Or his top section. Or hold on, let me perspective manipulate it. Okay. I'm gonna group all this together. Shut this off. Then we're gonna turn back on this version. There. That's not it. Oh, I see the issue. There we go. Now we should be able to compare. So this is with it with the just like the top half increase a little bit. Before, after, before, after. Before, after. Or before, after. Before, after. What if you move a little bit more to the left? Jesus. Does that make a significant difference? Let's see. So full screen. Before, after. Before, after. Before, after. This is just like a quick little warping. We can just like increase it a different way. But trying to like increase like how like much he's leaning forward. I can't choose. Sorry, just give me a second just to keep looking at this. See if I can make a decision. I think I like this better. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn this down. Turn this off. I'm just gonna merge it down. This down. Okay. And I'm wondering, can I just increase with like a brush? Because I do have like a grow brush. What the? Is that a move brush or a grow brush? I thought it was a grow. Oh, that was a move. This one's a grow brush. Hang on. So let's keep this group. That way I actually know where I'm trying to go. Now we merge these. Turn down the background. Then we try to do this. I'm actually going to merge this with this too. Nope, that's the one I wanted. Why is it doing that? Hang on. Turn this to normal. Then we can merge them. Then we turn it back to multiply. There we go. Okay. That way at least he has like a little bit of glow in his eyes. Okay, so now we increase the size of him. So let's see, the head. Yeah, the head entirely. And the shoulder. Okay, let's compare these. me slim down his face a little. Because his face got a little fatter. But it does look a little less warped. Where his like chest isn't like buckling in and his shoulder did become like super sharp. Oh, I wish we made a copy of before we did all this. Oh, hold on. We can do a copy actually. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. I'm gonna copy, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Oh, I see the issue. I was pressing the wrong hotkeys. Okay, here we go. Then we Control B. There we go. Group. There we go. Nope. I turned it back off. There we go. So yeah, about the same as far as like increasing the size of everything. Yeah. This could work. The only thing is I just need to slim down the face because his face is supposed to be like a very skinny face. And because I just grew everything, it made his face look like really chubby. So the last thing I'm going to do for today is just try to slim down this face and then we're going to call it. So let's go to my most used. Eraser and pencil. Oop. Oh, I see. Nope, that's an eraser. And how does this hair go? This is supposed to be like a rival over here. So, like, one idea that I had as far as like they're all supposed to be like clones of Dracula is that because they aren't perfect clones, they're just extremely similar. There's just like very small, vague differences. Like their cheek might be slightly at a shallower angle than the other, or their hair might be pulled all the way back, and while the other one has their hair kind of just all over the place. So just like they're all clones, but they're not like perfect clones because they're more like handcrafted clones. They're not like made in a factory. He might be able to make like perfect clones, but you know it would probably take a lot longer than the process that he went through, which is just like they need to be close enough that they can like take his place, or you know like stand or confuse people more. Like that's the way I like to characterize it. Enough that it feels like he has like a clones of himself, an army of just like perfect clones, rather than he actually does have the capability of making exact copies all over the place. More that they all have like a very similar visage, and like, you know, if somebody heard a description of him, they would all fit. There we go. I think we're getting there. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it there. I do like the change of making his face a little bigger, although I mentioned before that I do think I make my heads a little bit too big. So I guess we're just gonna have to see where it goes from here. We have, this is more like the second stage, where like I have the first rough, which is just me slapping on colors to make things, just to get like the structure of the drawing there. The second phase is me like, you know, okay, here's where the actual arm is gonna be, the actual muscles are gonna be, the clothes are gonna be, and then there's gonna be one last stage, which we're gonna have to do next stream, where I actually like, okay, this is 100%, we're not going back from here. This is what's gonna show up in the final drawing. This is where everything's gonna. This is the final line art before we move on to coloring, blocking out the background and everything else. So sorry for the shorter stream. I just got very, very tired. I had to rush everything and trying to get all these videos put out too. And not video games usually make me a little bit more awake, so I think that might also have a little bit to do with it. Or maybe I'm just making things up to make myself feel a little better. I'm gonna have a little bit more cranberry. Yeah, I think specifically making his head bigger, because we have the perspective of the character, the POV of the character. So if he's hunched towards you, the face would be huge. It'd almost be like that really like awkward camera when you have like camera on the forehead. Let me see. Is there any good ones? Funny. Yes, perfect. Is there one without like stupid brands on it, or stupid like check out my Instagram page, my funny Instagram page. I post the best memes. By the way, Instagram has like a really weird thing where like I'll see a meme, then I'll go to the comments, and like the first thing is the account that posts that video. It'll be like, I post actual murder videos on Instagram. It's like, I don't want that. I'm here for the meme. Like, I know there are people that like that, but like, Jesus, man, relax. Okay, forehead wide angle paint. That looks like to be the terminology. Trying to look for a good one. We're gonna go with this guy. Like if in real life, what you would see is more like this guy. Like if a guy's really close to you, this is kind of more what you would see. Just because of the nature of like having a single focal point. Oh, I'm trying to get this to fit. So yeah, this is more what you would see at this angle. Like the nose would be more prominent, the forehead would be more prominent, and then everything else. But the thing is, like, your brain, because you have two eyes, and like whenever you focus on an image, it kind of flattens everything out a little bit more. So you wouldn't really notice that the forehead and everything would be bigger because you have like two cameras, your eyes, that are kind of like merging the image together. That makes it a little bit more, a little less goofy. But if you had a camera that like in the center of your head that was more, and it had like the same like perspective, and it was all crammed into one image, this is what it would look like if you didn't have two eyes. I think I might just be making stuff and like pulling it out of nowhere, just because I think the idea is funny. Oh, where'd it go? So yeah, it's about the same. I think that's good. I could probably make his nose a little bit more prominent, because he does have a very strong nose. Very like sharp nose. But we'll have to work on that later. Like I said, this is more just like deciding where are things going to show up. So let me zoom out. Turn off the reference. Go away, go away, go away. I want like a good final photo. Okay, here we go. Let me pick up the background a little bit. Actually, I can pull it all the way up. There we go. A little bit more cranberry, then I'm all done. I'm not even like a super fan of cranberry, but the cranberry is delicious. Okay, so that's another stream. Yeah, so we're in this was basically the second phase of the second version of the rough, where I get to actually like structure everything out. Next stream, we're gonna be actually getting the final line art and like really just putting things down when, no ifs, ands, or buts. It's gonna be where it's gonna be. I think I have pretty much the entire pose worked out. I like the angle of the camera, the zoom on his shoulders and face, and then the pose, clothes, everything's all worked out properly. Like I had to redo like the collar of the coat, mainly because coats don't really have that kind of lapel. But this works too. This works fine by me. The only other thing is I need to finish the hand that's actually touching his chest, but that one shouldn't be too hard. So next stream we should be doing all of the line art and getting that worked out. Pretty much, I think that would probably take a whole stream. Then from there we get the colors for the character, separating everything out. Then we can get the gradient maps, just boom, 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 color, background, lighting, shadows, get everything done. We're gonna get there, we're gonna work on it, and have a lot of fun. So next Tuesday, I will be out, but I should still be returning by the time of the stream and getting, I should be here for the stream, is what I'm trying to say. So that's gonna be 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what that is, general time or Pacific time. Is general time a thing? Anyways. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. I will probably post some art on my Instagram tomorrow, so follow me on Instagram. It is the same name as my Twitch, and it is linked down below if you just want to click the link. give me a like, give me a follow. Really appreciate any kind of like activity I get there. Yeah, and it's also the place you should be if you want to see the most up-to-date art or what's going on in my life that might be slowing me down. So, you know, like if I'm ever on a trip, I'll be posting it on there. If I'm ever, you know, like doing any kind of events, I'm going to be posting it on there. So follow my Instagram. That's where things are going to be most up-to-date. If you want to see some of my older artwork or some of the art that doesn't make it to Instagram, you can check out my DeviantArt. That's kind of like my dumping ground because I've been using DeviantArt for almost 10 years. I think actually 10 years now. I think November was when I started it, so maybe we're about to hit 10 years. So yeah, check out my DeviantArt. So it's Devil's Dark Messiah. That's also linked down below. And then my 2 YouTube channels. So tomorrow I have a video going up. It's going to be the last one before the supercut. And then the supercut, I'm thinking of maybe posting it Friday, Saturday. Probably Friday. I think Friday is right in between the weeks. And then Monday, we're going to have the first Romeo, and then we're back up to schedule. We're going to be on a week delay. That's fine. That should be fine. Delays also help whenever I have a week where I can't post anything. So this is good. This is good. All good. Let me go and save this. So I have 2 YouTube channels. I have the full stream archive. So you want to watch the full stream from beginning to end. You know, the full 3 hour, 2 hours. It will be going up on my Raul A. Pena full streams, which is also linked down below. All the stuff I'm going to mention is linked down below. I really should stop with the cranberry. Stop. Stop. Go away. Go away. But if you don't have the time to watch the full 2 hour, 3 hour stream, you can also catch up using my time-lapse highlights channel. Highlights, time-lapse. And that's where I post all of the streams cramped down into more 5-minute chunks. Or, yeah, 5-minute chunks. And then whenever I finish a piece, like the last piece that I finished, I do what I call a supercut. So that's probably going to be going up Friday. And what that is that all of the time lapses are cramped together into more 12 to 15 minute chunks. This one's going to be about 15 minutes. I'm pretty much done with the editing, so all I need to do is export it. Ooh, one stretch. Ooh. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's really fun to watch because you get to see the entire process from the very first few lines all the way to the final touches. You get to see like the entire growth process, how everything shapes together. I really like editing those because they make me look way more talented than I really am. But anyways, keep an eye out for that. Follow that if that's your preferred way of watching. And then I also do commissions. So if you want me to work on your RPG character, your OCs, check out the commission sheet down below. You can message me on Instagram, or you can send me an email. If you do, try to include a little bit more extra information about who you are, who I am, just to make sure you're not a bot, because I get a lot of bot messages on Instagram. So yeah, try to, say what you're thinking about as far as the commission. If you don't understand the commission sheet down below, you can just also ask questions through the email. I'm happy to work that out with you. So any character you like, whether it's Batman, whether it's, the Hulk, or it's your own original character for Vampire the Masquerade, Dungeons and Dragons. I've worked on plenty of Dungeons and Dragons. Just go and check it out and let me know. Then I also have a PayPal link down below. If you don't want to go through the process of doing a whole commission and you just want to make a quick one-time donation, you can also check out that PayPal. I would really appreciate it. It makes me feel like I'm spending my time wisely and that my work is being appreciated. I'm going to do this either way, whether or not people pay me or not, because I just love being able to share my art. But then just whatever little you can give is greatly appreciated. So thank you anybody who was here, even if you're here for a few minutes, even if you were here for the entire stream and didn't say anything, or you're just catching up on the archive that goes up later. I just really appreciate when anybody can spend time with me, hang out and relax, and just watch me work. I have fun doing it, and I hope other people can enjoy just watching and hanging out. But yeah, that's going to wrap everything up. I'm going to try not to pass out, maybe finish up all the video editing, and then if I'm lucky, get a little bit of Darktide in, because I am like scratching my neck and dying that I can't play Warhammer Darktide right now. But I'm trying to focus on getting the work done, then we can reward myself later. So that's going to be it. You guys have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.